Welcome back into the channel, everybody. Today's video is all about Dazzler. She's a 4/4 ongoing. If you have 4 cards at each location, plus 6 power. So simply put, she can be a 10 power if you fill your entire board up. That's the goal of this deck. So there are obvious synergy cards that go into this. Super easy. And there are some not as obvious ones. There's a few different ways to build around Dazzler, but in my opinion, this is one of the strongest ways to do so. So obviously, Ultron is pretty absurd. He creates 4 1-power drones at each other location. So you can essentially fill up your entire board. If you play Ultron on a location that has 3 cards already, your board will be guaranteed filled up at the other locations. So that's one simple way. And then pretty much what pairs with Ultron really well is a few different things. So first off, Patriot. He's going to give your cards with no abilities plus 2 power, and that includes the Ultron drones. Kazar, who will give your 1-cost cards plus 1 power. That is obviously affecting the drones as well. And then Blue Marvel with your other cards will get plus 1 power. So lots of board buffs can help out and make a Ultron deck function. And then if you have Dazzler out on top of that, you will get a 10 power spike at the location that she's at, which is great. But beyond that, I'm filling in with a few other fun cards here. One being Mojo. If both players have 4 cards at this location, plus 6 power. So you should have 4 cards at any location at any given time. And if your opponent ends up having to equal that to try to win that location, Mojo will give plus 6 power. Really, really solid card here for this deck. Then I'm actually running Zabu. So since I'm running Dazzler and I'm running Kazar already, Zabu fits really nicely by making my 4-cost cards cost 1 less, so I can play Zabu on 2 and then either Kazar or Dazzler. And I'm actually also running Thing, which has this super sweet Fear Itself variant that I got, which is part of the reason why I bought this for sure. And why I put him in this deck, but also High Evolutionary is coming out soon, so that'll be a future video. When I get High Evolutionary, making all your non-ability cards have something, he's going to be a really fun card coming out hopefully this month. But Thing is another 4-drop that Kazar could reduce the cost of, or sorry, that Zabu could reduce the cost of, but also that Patriot could buff. So really fun card there. I fill in the rest of the list with Squirrel Girl, who obviously is going to fill up our location with squirrels, who will get buffs from all of the cards that buff things, which is great. Misty Knight, who's just a solid 1/2 with no ability, so she can get a lot of buffs. Then I rock Brood here, who's going to give me 2 additional no ability cards, which Patriot could buff, but also just have 2 other cards that fill up that board slot, so really good at just filling up the board easily for me. And then finally I rock Dr. Doom at the end slot, who on reveal will give 2 5-power bots at the other 2 locations, or 1 at each other location. So essentially, he will play 3 cards himself. So there are plenty of games where you've played enough early where you don't need to play Ultron, so you can just play Dr. Doom instead. And he will sometimes, in particular cases, give you a lot more power than Ultron will. Especially if you don't have a whole lot of room for Ultron bots to actually go down. So that's kind of the list, guys. There are a lot of other options. There's a lot of other cards that you probably are thinking of right off the bat. You could be thinking about Mr. Sinister, who essentially will give you another 2/2 right as you play him. So you could play Mr. Sinister and get an additional clone right after the fact. He is another really good card for this list because he's going to give you additional spots taken up. That's a really good one. You could make this deck on the cheaper side and play like Goose, so you can limit what your opponent can do. Ant-Man's another good option because you're essentially going to have 3 other cards at your area, at your location, so he'll get plus 3 power. He's another good option. There's a lot of really good options for this deck, so kind of play around with it. I took a Patriot variant of the deck and then kind of added what I needed to make this function. But you could definitely do a lot more things with a deck like this. So if you're missing any of these cards, let me know in the comments what cards you're missing. I love doing that with all my videos, just talking about what cards could replace what cards in my deck if you guys don't have all of the cards that I'm showing off. So feel free to leave a comment below, or if you have a version of this deck that you're already playing that you really dig, let me see that version as well. I'd love to check it out on a future video or something like that. But for now, I'm going to jump into some gameplay with this and kind of show you how it works, why I think Dazzler's a really nice fit for a deck like this, and hopefully get some wins for you guys. Alright, let's jump into some gameplay. Alright, so we got Dazzler, Zabu, and Dr. Doom, which is a solid hand. We got the Monster Island dropping us a 9 monster, which we can buff pretty nicely as well, so that's not too shabby. So we're going to have to drop Zabu here. Cards have -3 power in the middle, that's pretty brutal. Yeah, we'll go Zabu. And we'll see what we can do with that. He's got Maria Hill. So he's got Maria Hill and Korg so far, some interesting cards down. Xandar is going to give us +1 power at that location. So Dazzler's pretty solid. I don't have a whole lot that's going to help me fill up my board entirely yet, but I still think I go Dazzler in the middle here. Alright, so we got Patriot now and a Rock. So we'll actually drop Patriot and a Rock here. He's got Super Scroll, so he's actually going to be copying my ongoing abilities, and I have now 3 of them, so that's pretty brutal. We got the Rock out from Korg. Let's see. Alright, so we got Squirrel Girl, which is good, and we got Mojo, where we could just do Blue Marvel here and then try to flood the board next turn. We might end up having to just do something like that. So let's go Blue Marvel on the right, and then next turn we could just either drop Dr. Doom, which isn't going to fill our board, or we could play Mojo, Squirrel Girl, and whatever else we draw. We'll have to see what we get. Alright, so he's got Blue Marvel copied as well with Super Scroll, which isn't super great for me. So we got Dr. Doom coming down on the right. I think that's our best bet. We're going to lose the middle. Actually, Dr. Doom in the middle is better because we want that. We want his Doom bots on the other locations because we want Patriot buffs to hit them. So if we drop Dr. Doom in the middle, we'll put the 2 Doom bots on the left and right, and we'll try to win both those locations. See if we will, though. They're going to be 8 power Doom bots on each side. Let's see what he's doing. He's adding 2 cards. 1 to each location. So we got these 8 power Doom bots. Cosmo's down, White Queen is down, and I think we'll end up taking the win there from a pretty nice easy win. We didn't get Dazzler's ongoing off, but we did get a lot of other good value from our cards, even though my opponent super scrolled and copied most of it. All right, let's move on to some more. All right, so we got Dazzler, Patriot, Blue Marvel, and Ultron. So Patriot, Dazzler, Blue Marvel, Ultron is pretty much the perfect curve out here. So very excited about that. We have Misty Knight. She's not going to do as much. I will drop her on the right side perhaps, and then I'll probably drop the rest of my cards in the middle here. See what our opponent's going to do. He's got Daredevil and Nova here, so maybe I should put Misty in the middle, but it doesn't matter tremendously. Alright, so we have squirrels everywhere. We'll see if he likes that or doesn't like it. He's got Nova and Daredevil so far, so kind of a weird first 2 cards. I'm going Patriot. We like squirrels in this deck, so we'll definitely take that. He's playing Killmonger. Alright, so he's wiping all the 1s. Which is good. I'd rather play Killmonger now than later than on turn 6, because that would totally screw me. Patriot's going to come out. I'll put like a little sad face. I'll do one of these. We're going to go Dazzler after this. He's playing nothing. Pretty interesting. Alright, then I'm going to go Blue Marvel here in the middle. He's going to be able to see where this is going. And we'll see what he plays. Hopefully he doesn't lock down a location. If he sends Hobgoblin to my side or something like that on the Daredevil turn, that could be pretty annoying as well. But let's hope he doesn't just lock down one of the locations. Alright, he goes to Nimrod. So my guess is he's going to Galactus somewhere? Perhaps? See if he just Galactuses on turn 6. I'm just going to play Ultron in the middle and fill the entire board up. So I'm going to fill the whole board up and just hope that it's not a Galactus play. Maybe it's a Destroyer play or something along those lines. But we got to see what happens. If nothing happens on our side of the board, we'll have a really, really strong board. We'll have every Ultron bot being at 4 power, because Patriot will be giving them +2, Blue Marvel will be giving them +1. So each other location will be at least 16 power, and then this middle location, Dazzler is going to get an additional 6 power. So we're going to have a hefty number right in the middle. So this is like the dream curve, is Patriot, Dazzler, Blue Marvel, Ultron. So we get a retreat there, but that's exactly what we're looking for, this curve. I mean, obviously we missed 1 drop and then we played Misty, and then all the squirrels died from Killmonger, so all that happened. But even without that, this curve right here is crazy. I mean, we'd have so much power naturally in the middle, and we'd still be able to put up 16 at each other location. So really, really good curve without needing to hit Zabu or anything. Shows you just a simple way that Dazzler could really utilize a Patriot and Ultron deck and really buff this location in the middle by a lot. She'd be offering 10 power. So even if you're ignoring Mirror Island, she'd be a 10 power. Ultron's an 8. Patriot's a 1, and he's a 3. So it's 22 power right there just with these 4 cards, which is pretty great because it's Patriot and Blue Marvel, which are both very low power cards. So That's what the deck does, guys. If you have these cards, try the deck out. Let me know what you think. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscription to the channel. Help us grow more than you know. And as always, keep on snapping.